Hello, everyone. And am I audible and visible to all? Visible is not important, but audible, right? Okay. Welcome you all to Area B2 PR workshop. PR has been defined as PR, as power, and by several other names, right? And these are just the acronyms of PR. A perfect PR is not a perfect experiment with colors, creativity, and alignment. But a perfect PR is where you put your heart, your soul, every single thing or every single talent what you have into creating that particular PR. And PR is not just poster. It is the entire effort which goes behind. We at Area B2 uh, have several times experimented with different kinds of PR, and we really thought that our clubs need a lot of PR workshops, and hence we have a very special guest. Three people are from the area PR team. Our amazing area PR manager, Toastmaster Mudassir. Please give a virtual round of applause, and if you real one, please do so too. We have our area creative head, Toastmaster Hasmita, and we have our area content editor, whom we call as
Serish, you are stuck.
We can give a loud hand of cheers to Toastmaster Kanishka.
We will never know what we call. Maybe Cyrus will join back and complete that. Okay, so let's give Cyrus some time and let's begin off with our first session, that is creativity. So I am the area creative ed, and when I was first approached for this title, I felt like creative ed, interesting. Like, what is my role as a creative ed, and how do I add to this role? But before I come to my story, let me make you guys as a part of this story. So let's start off with an activity. I want you all to observe this. Okay, can you see this device?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm pretty sure most of you know what this is. If you don't know, let me explain. This is an instrument used to massage your head, and if you're itchy, to scratch it. So now I want to have a small exercise. That is, I want you guys to come up with an alternative use for this device. Right? So what can you say? How else can I use this device?
Batter mixing.
Okay,
Yes.
you can use to mix batter. Thank you.
Shamini.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Shamini. Who else?
You can use this to do the drop painting.
Okay, we can use it to paint. Excellent. Who else wants to give it a try?
Imaginary mic.
This is an imaginary mic. Fancy one, of course. What
You
can
can think it of as a tree whose all leaves have fallen down.
Yeah. Flower making. We can make some handicrafts, flowers, and then use it like a small vase.
Amazing. You guys are making my job so easy. So you already know. So now that this purpose of this exercise was just to establish that how your mind can wander from one thing to another. There's always something you can make use of. Using your creativity, you can add life to so many things. So let's start off with today's session. It's called Why Do We Yeah, let me share my screen. Think, why do we have a box? Let's start. First of all, you guys might be wondering, why do we need creativity, Hasmata? There's already so much, people say you need focus, you need multitasking, you need to be, extraordinary. Now you are adding one more criteria to me, and that is called, creativity. Who cares about creativity? Well, to be honest, everybody cares about creativity. Creativity is what makes you you. your uniqueness. What answer that other Toastmasters gave using this as an example is something not I could have come up with. That might not have been my thought process. My thought process might not have been that exciting, but somebody else's was. That's what makes them unique. And my ideas make me unique. And you being unique is something that defines you. And you know what's the benefit of being yourself? You can use your creativity to get away from lying creatively to your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wives, or to even being the most wanted member in your business room. So let's start understanding this creativity is important, and everybody is creative. As long as you have both side of your brains, the right side for creative thinking and left side for making all the analytical thoughts to put together this creative thoughts, you are creative. Your brain, you're genetically enabled to be creative. So let's take the conception that we are not creative outside and throw it, because we all are creative in our own way. So that's why creativity is so much in demand, because everybody is hard working, right? In your office, in your schools, your college, in anywhere in your professional or personal life, you see that everybody nowadays is very competitive. Everybody wants to get ahead in life. They want to make a statement, but you only can do that much work. You only can do that much of studies, and you can only bring that much of thoughts on the table. But what makes it different is how you bring those thoughts to the table, either by making the presentation more creative, the way you speak more creative, or just the whole thought more creative. So that's where we use creativity. So now we are in Toastmasters, we are learning how to talk creatively. To extend this ahead, we will talk about how to even showcase yourself creatively. Yeah, that's the big question now. You might be wondering, how, Asmita, how do we be creative? I have always tried to be creative, but this is some concept that I don't understand. This is like a enigma that has tortured me throughout life. People say think outside the box. There was recently a video that went viral that was think inside the box. And think, how do we think thoughts are not under your control, right? When you sit down to meditate, or just think about anything, thoughts keep flowing. How do you even think structured way to arrive at a solution? Well, that's not a challenge actually. The challenge is not to control your thought, but to let go of your thought. That's what creativity is. We always think in life we arrive at solutions by having this structured format to life. Make it so structured. Just have this planned, organized, and you're in this phase in your life where everything is perfectly going according to connected dots. It doesn't have to. You have to make sure that you are in a free flow state and thoughts are flowing in order for you to be creative. So next time you're in your office brainstorming with your colleagues, or thinking of which new restaurant to go visit and which new dish to try, just let your thoughts flow. See what happens. That's what is about the experience of creativity. So first method to take when you're trying to be creative is to ask the child in you what they would do. Usually when we grow up, we come into this constraints like, maybe this is not socially accepted, maybe this is too complicated, no, I don't think people will be acceptable of this, maybe this is funny. We subject ourselves to so many doubts, and we subject ourselves to so many restrictions that we never let ourselves truly be free. We constrain ourselves, we put ourselves in a box, we draw a box around ourselves, and we think how to think outside the box. Well, first destroy the box, break it completely. You don't need a box to think. You can think of anything. You can take this, break it, melt it, and make it into anything you want. You don't want a massager, melt this thing, make it into a comb if you want. You can always find a way, right? So first break the box. Ask the child in you what you want to do. As kids, we are so creative, right? You give a kid a piece of box to play with, and it will imagine it to be a spaceship, boat, It will imagine it to be a truck, and sometimes it will make it a house, and they'll do all sort of things with it. They don't mind that a box cannot be multiple things. They'll imagine it to be the most bizarre things ever. So ask the child in you. Because when you're in your child state, we actually have three mental state. One is child, adult, and one is in kind of between where you're confused. So ask the child in you, in your child state, what you would truly do, what you want to truly express yourself as. And once you have that idea, then Eureka, you have something there. And as soon as you get an idea, usually it's very complicated, right? Our brain is not that friendly to us that it gives us step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 to follow. Of course not. That's when you have to simplify your idea. You have to sit down and break down your idea. Every time we get a complicated thought process, we think of, okay, this is not going to work. No, we have to reverse engineering. You have to think, how are you going to make this work? It's that simple. Break it down into simpler parts, and then you will see that maybe A, B, C, D won't work, and Z, Q, F, M, L, O, Q works. You never know. You don't have to know alphabets in the order of A, B, C, D, right? We are so structured in our day-to-day life that we know alphabets by A to Z. Is there any use of knowing alphabets in the alphabetical order? Can anybody say is there is any use of knowing alphabets in the alphabetic order?
To search in dictionary.
To search in dictionary, okay, that's one thing. But in a day-to-day application itself, now nobody uses a dictionary. Okay, Google, can you tell me the definition of this and that? And you have it there. But actually, we don't have any use of alphabetical order. But when you're a kid, they're forcing you to learn after A comes D, after C comes D. Why? Then we make it like a hardcore engineering process in our brain to connect the dots always. Don't connect the dots. Make your own pattern. Simplify it. Third, if you hit a dead end in your idea, right? Usually you do hit a dead end. If it's anything, because there's only that much you can test your limits. And when you do hit a limit, ask yourself what would you do if you have to completely redo this. And then you will find solutions that can be implemented in the original idea itself. For example, I'll tell you, Albert Einstein, right? He gave in the same year 4 different research paper, and one of them won a Nobel Prize. And 4 of them were different topics. They were physics, but on different aspects. He does this, or many, you can see all the great artists, painters or musicians, they work on different projects at the same time, because sometimes one solution that doesn't work for the original product works for the another one, and it is interlinked all together. So when you hit a dead end, ask yourself what would you do it differently, and you generate a whole set of idea, and then you feel like everything is possible. Because when you hit a dead end, it's usually easier for us to assume, okay, I was just stupid. I don't know where I was gonna go with this. I should have just stopped. When I got this thought, because it was very complex. So don't restrict yourself. There's always alternatives between. And the fourth point is ask yourself why. Why are you doing this? Why are you writing this speech? For who are you writing this speech? How do you want to deliver it? Why are you making this poster? For who are you making this poster? What is the purpose behind this poster? Ask yourself why at every stage. It will give you clearer, environment to build your thought process on. And the biggest secret is practice. You have to practice your creativity and have patience with it. And as soon as you mix both of them, voila, you have the creative process you always thought of. Well, now let's introduce that to what we actually want to apply in our PR. So let me just first show you a few of my examples. So this poster This is actually a report, a secretary report that I have made. And you can see here, right, that the theme was play to win. And you see this, the purpose of this is to make it very attractive. Usually, you know, the report is not read by everybody, but how do you make sure it is read? There is a colorful documentation of everything, and everybody feels appreciated for what they do. So you see, by just adding this symbol here, this two controllers, the whole poster has a definition to it. You're just giving a meaning to it by adding two small icons. And the colors I play with, because because anime, you see in anime, you see in video games, blue and pink are given a lot of importance, and everything comes on a black screen. So that's how you imagine. uh, and yes, for humorous speech contest, different people use different things. And here I've just used the, the laughing symbol itself. So you have to test your creativity. And for launching, I rather than just saying we are launching, you're actually using a rocket, which indicates it's launching into the sky. And we did, I was the team mode for this another thing called Where is Miss Sanguine Hope? And this whole thing gives a mysterious look. So yeah, where is Miss Sanguine Hope? Is she drowning? Where is she? Are we looking for her? The whole Sherlock Holmes kind of atmosphere. And this is one of the things I did for a college. And you can see how the colors, the picturization, and the first thing, even before you read what is there in the content, already know this is something related to money. And this is related to finance, or in my college they would know it's finance, and then the interested audience would look into it. So when you're doing PR, the most important aspect you have to ask yourself is that who are you doing this PR for? Are you doing it for your club? Are you doing it to invite the area? What kind of audience? Now that we did this PR workshop, we wanted to attract people who are interested in PR. So when we were brainstorming about what kind of posters we put out, I gave this idea about Bob. Most of you would have seen the poster, and I said we'll introduce the character. We have this meme where don't be like Bob. So think like different, right? Don't be like Bob. So usually we always tell be like this, be like this. Let's do something. Let's tell like don't be like this. So then how do we say this? There's already a meme that tells that everybody is already familiar to. That is like not to be like Bob. So then we took that concept, then I added little bit of funny picturization to it, and then it clicked. And you are here because you saw the creative twist in our posters, and the creative angles the words took, the thoughts took, and you said, okay, something, this is what I want to bring to our club. So you ask, who do you want to attract? We wanted to attract PR people. Who do you want to attract? Do you want to attract good speakers? Do you want to attract people who are interested in speaking? Do you want to attract people who are interested in your topic of speech? So it's up to you. First, when you have established this, understand what you can do differently. So for our Halloween thing, right, what we did is like we didn't use green, orange, and black, because we knew everybody is going to have Halloween theme and everybody is going to use the same colors. So that's why we did something different. We went out of the way and we used purple, and we played a complete different psyche to it. So that's what you have to do. Once you have established your audience, try to understand what kind of things you can do differently, because everybody is out there marketing themselves. How can you market it differently? What is unique about your thing? And go crazy with the thought. If you have seen all our PR events, nothing about them is normal. Nothing we do is normal. That's what makes it so unique, because people find it funny, people find it attractive, and people find it bold. It's like we are in your face and we are doing it right. So that's what makes your statement. Your PR, your creativity should make a statement. And for that to happen, let your thoughts flow free and be yourself. So break the box. Don't think outside the box. With that, I would like to call upon our area PR manager, who's gonna tell you how to implement all this on Canva. So please welcome him with a huge round of applause. And over to Toastmaster Mudassir.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Mudassir, a
Yes.
little louder.
Yeah, my screen is visible and can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that made the previous presentation so attractive was the use of colors. The colors are what make a dull poster a really attractive posters, and how you use that is known as the color harmony, which any artist use to make different arts, including a poster, drawing, portrait, anything. So let me first take a brief theory lecture on what is color theory, and then we'll go towards the Canva. To choose a color, we make use of color wheel. This is the color wheel, and the choice of color are made by looking at this wheel, and depending on the choice, we can create a color harmony. Now, if we choose colors from the opposite end of the wheel, this is known as complementary colors. So if you want to make a poster which has high contrast or high impact, then you can make use of the complementary colors. Then comes the monochromatic colors. These colors are created using shades of a single color. Like you can see that this is shades of orange. This type of uh, color scheme is used when you are going for a bit of a formal poster, or you are want to create not a poster but a pamphlet. Then you could use such shades of color. And then comes the analogous color. These types of color are from a particular corner of the wheel, and these colors are adjacent. One thing you should keep in mind while using the analogous color, that there should be one dominant color. Like in this case, there is a dark blue color which is dominant. That color you can use as a background, and rest all color you could use in the foreground. That will give an excellent look to your poster, and this color combination is quite versatile and it's good overwhelming. Now let's come to the three primary color: red, blue, and green. You can combine these three color in any way to form any color in the universe. You could see these numbers underneath red and underneath green and underneath blue. This is known as hexacode. The first two digit talks about the amount of red in your color. The next two talks about the amount of green in your color, and the last two talks about the amount of blue in your color. The hexacode go from 1 to up to F. F is maximum and 0 is the minimum. So if there is 0, then there is no intensity of that color, and if there is FF, it is the highest intensity of this color. So you could combine all this color using the hexacode. First red, then green, then blue, RGB. These are known as secondary colors. Secondary colors are formed when you combine any two primary colors. Like you could form a purple color by combining red and blue. There is 80 in the red and there is 80 in the blue, and the green one is 00. So you could, likewise, you could create a purple color. Similarly, you could create this color with combining a red and green, FF and AF. Also, you could experiment with all these color combination of red, blue, and green, and create all these variable and beautiful colors like aquamarine, scuba blue, lucid green. All that can be created and with these hexa values. Now, don't get caught up with the hexa values and don't try to remember it. I'll tell you exactly how to use it and when to use it. Now let's come to the poster part, the Canva part. So yeah, we'll try to make an exact copy of this poster. This is a poster we created for the area people contest, and one of the requirements of the contest was that the background should be in the shades of gray. So first we'll start with that. If you go towards the Canva and you log in into the Canva, the initial homepage look like this. Here there are different templates, features. There are various tutorial available for Canva. And then there is pricing. You could even go for a premium subscription. This is the homepage. Here all the designs are available. Here all the shared documents are. And you could even create a team in Canva. So at present, I am using my personal account. Otherwise, I'm a part of Karan's team. So likewise, you could create team and work on different designs. Now, this is how you start, create a design. There are many options to it. You could create a custom size. The sizes can be in the form of number of pixels, number in inches, millimeter, centimeter. So number of pixels are used generally when you're dealing with something small like a photo. Inches and millimeter are used when you're dealing with posters. And when you're dealing with large banners or something t-shirt or like that, you talk in meters or in feet. So even that will come. Okay. In the create design part, you could even start with an image, or you could choose one of these suggested sizes. You could start with an image, or you could choose one of these suggested sizes, either Instagram post, poster, Instagram story, any of this. So we'll start with a poster.
আসছে আমি ওপেন করছি, এটা 45-এ ওপেন হবে, আসছে।
Okay. So it's coming up. Yeah. So first we have to create a gray background. In Canva, there are many options on the left. In the bottom second is the background option. You could choose that. And there are many custom backgrounds which Canva provide you. You could choose either of these background, or you could use a solid color as your background. So I'm going to use a solid gray color. So I'll start with this. Now, in that poster, there was a partition between an evaluation contest and a humor contest. So I have to create that partition. For that, you have to go to the elements. In the elements, you will see a square block here. Use that to create your partition. So we are done with the partition. Now we have to give color to the partition. So we'll choose a darker shade of gray. Okay. Now we have created a good background of gray with two different shades. Now we have to add a photo. Now Canva provides you quite a bunch of photos which you could use. Many of them are free. Many of them are premium, which you have to buy. Or you could upload a photo. From this upload media option, you could upload any photo of your requirement. So I'll choose one of the photo which I have already uploaded. Let's take Sankhya's photo. So it came up. Once your photo is here, you could see many options at the top. You could change effect on your photo. You could add different tones, color mix, glitches. You could add filters to it. You could adjust brightness, contrast, saturation of that. Even you could crop the image if you want. Or you could flip the image. Anything is possible. Also, you could position the image, align it with the page, put it in the center or bottom. That all can be done with the image. And there is the option of transparency. So you could even decrease the transparency and then the Sankhya will disappear. So that can also be done. Then here there are options to delete and duplicate the image. So all that can be done. In our original poster, the image was in a circular frame. So now let's put a circular frame first. In the same elements section, you will find frames. So we'll choose a circular frame. Okay. So now again in the circular frame, we have to upload a photo. So let's again choose Sankhya. Okay. So here he came inside the circular frame. Now surrounding the circular frame, if we go back, you'll see a leaf, a golden leaf. Now we have to get the golden leaf. In this element section, there are many stickers available. So you could make use of these stickers. But how to find the one which we need? So you could just search here. This was a winner's poster. So I just searched winner. And I've got so many options here. In this, I found that leaf. This leaf is also available in my recent search section because I recently used it. So here it is. Okay, so this part is complete. Now, you could copy the same to create other sections, other photos, and again put a leaf to it. Okay, so the next leaf was of a different color. Here it is golden, the next one was silver, and the third one was bronze. So how do we change this color? If you select the leaf, you will see a color option here. If you are lucky, you will find a color here, like the silver is here. But sometimes this color is not available here. So what to do then? Just search on the Google, go on the Google and search silver hexa code. Here you will find the code C0, C0, C0. This is the silver's code. Type it here. And you have the silver color. Similarly, if you want the bronze color, just search for bronze. And you have the bronze code. You could type the code here, there, and again you will have that color. So likewise, you could get the silver color, the bronze color, and the golden color. So this part is over. I'll quickly remove this and copy this. Okay. Now, for the bottom portion, you could just copy these three and put it down. It will also work. Yeah. So we are done with half of the poster. Now we have to add text. Here is the text option. Like a typical report document, there are many options. You could add a heading, subheading, a title body, and there are many options to add funky font combinations. Like you could see one is flare, thank you, glow. So in this part, Toastmaster Kanishka will cover. I'll just add a basic one. And there are many font options also here. This again, I'll choose the most basic one. Here you could choose the size of the font. Now, because this is a title, we'll choose a bigger size. But keep in mind that you always choose size from this column only. because when you print the poster, there's a chance that your poster might break. The pixels might break. So choose this one because it is set with respect to the pixel. So yeah, I've chosen that and I'll make it a bold. Let's write here area B2 contest. Now we have to add color to it. This is the color option. The best part of Canva is that it remembers all the color which you have already used. So because we have already added the golden, bronze and silver color, it is available in the document color option. So you could choose the golden color from here. So a poster is almost complete. What else is left? Let me check. Yeah, we have to add the humor contest and evaluation contest part. Okay, for that you could again use an element, like a square element, and place it here. You have to color it the darker shade. And the other part, you just copy this one. Okay, now you have to add text over that. You could either add text like that or you could just copy your area text. If you copy the same text from the top, you will get even the color and the text style. So it's much more convenient that way. This was white in color. Again, you can copy the same below. Okay. So the poster is almost complete. See, now this black box and this gray box and this evaluation text, they both may not be aligned. So what you have to do for that, click on the text, press the shift key and click on the box outside it. Okay. Here in the, if you click this top three more option, you will see the position. Here you could choose middle and center. I think they are already aligned to align the text with respect to the box. Similarly, you could do that for the down one. Okay, this is done. Now, so that was not just a poster, it was a full-fledged GIF or a video, you could say. Now, what else you can do to that? To make it a more of a presentable document, you could add some animations to that. So here there is an animation option. There are a variety of animation options available here, like a block animation, which will put on all the text. There is a breath, there is a rise, fade, and there is tumble. So I use this one for the particular poster. Okay, so we have added the animation, we have added all the poster elements. Now what else is missing? We need to add some music. So if you scroll this bar down, in the bottom you will find this more option with three dots. Click on that and here there is music. So from this you could add a variety of custom musics available with Canva. So I could choose one of this, and yeah, I have added the music to it. Okay, hear it? You could even change the transition time to 10 seconds, and there you go. So this is how you create a full-fledged poster in Canva. I've covered all the elements. Toastmaster Kanishka, after me, she'll come, and if you have any doubts, hold on to that doubt, because Toastmaster Kanishka will cover some part in which she'll compare a good poster with a bad poster and what all you can do to make a bad poster into a good poster, or an okay poster to a perfect poster. So she'll talk about different fonts, style, and different font combination, their placing, and even the aligning of fonts. So I'd like to call on Toastmaster Kanishka on the stage.
Thank you so much, Mudassir. I mean, making a poster in 20 minutes, that was really amazing. And some of the elements even I did not know till date. So that was really nice. And now moving on to the next part, let me share my screen. Can everybody hear? Everybody can hear me, right? Because I'm using two devices. So please just let me know. Yep.
We're able to hear you, Kanishka.
Yeah, thank you. So this is something that I learned from my area director, and as well as me being the VPPR for the last tenure in my club. So font really matters. Why? Now, I'm just going to ask people, the people who are attending this workshop, tell me the difference between the two fonts that you see right here. Anybody?
The second one seems scary.
Yeah. And the first one?
It's more caring, loving.
Yeah. So okay, let me just tell you, we had the Halloween poster, right? I mean, I don't know how many people have seen it, but we had a spooky Halloween poster wherein we had all the images and everything. So what font do you think would have looked good? I mean, if Mudassir and Hasmita would have gone ahead and used this first font with hearts on it, would it have created that impact that we wanted it to? Or would the second one create more impact that we wanted to?
Second one.
Second one, right? That is because when a person is seeing the poster, they're not just looking at pictures, they're not just looking at the theme, they're looking at it as a whole, they're looking at it with the content that is there in it as well. So they want to see, like if I put a ghost picture with a loving image, it will not match, right? Similarly, if you put a ghost picture with a font that has all hats and everything in it, it won't create that impact that you wanted. Very simple. So now I have one thing that I have to ask you guys. Like, tell me, this is the poster that we made for you guys, right? We have been having a story throughout the last week, and we have been posting a video animation every alternate days. Tell me what is wrong with this poster. A deliberate mistake that we all made, and we made it our conscience was getting hurt when we were making these mistakes, but we wanted to make these mistakes. Please, somebody point them out. No one?
Is it the introduction font of
Yes,
Bob and Bobby?
yes, introduction font. Anybody else? There's not just one mistake, believe me.
Alignment.
Yes, there's a lot of mistakes with this poster. It's just that we wanted to make these mistakes because we wanted to tell, like when you see this poster, honestly, when we saw this poster, we thought, uh, why are we even making this? Because this font, the font for the entire poster should be the same. First rule of a poster is the font size can vary, but the font should be the same. Second, alignment. If you see, Bob was able to find a girlfriend, but he could find the right design elements, but he couldn't find the right design elements. Okay, so we corrected that later. But this alignment, the entire alignment, like don't be like Bob, is shifted towards right. Come meet our hero. It's shifted even more towards the right. This is not how a poster works. This is not how it should be. When a person looks at your poster, he shouldn't be, just looking at it at a glance and then moving away. He should be thinking, oh yeah, there's a session on 8th or 11th. I should be able to attend, because we are wanting to send that message, and this poster doesn't send that message, as in we wanted it that way. So what I am going to show you right now is my designs that I worked on. Can you guys see my screen apart from the poster? Yeah. So when I was the VPPR, I had worked with the area as well for a while. I'm going to show you what a good poster looks like. If you see, a lot of times we have a lot of elements to mention in our poster, a lot of things that we need our poster to, portray. And sometimes we think that, will it fit? Will all of it fit together? It will fit if you can make it happen. Believe me. So we had our area contest last year, and we had at least 8 people to mention. And over that, we had to mention the dates, the timing, and we had to mention the theme, we had to mention which area, everything. So how do we do that? And it's a process. Every poster shouldn't have the same details, right? Because you will be starting your PR from a week ago. So you don't want every poster to have the same details or every poster to have the same content. You need difference. So this is what we did. We created 3 different posters with the same theme, but portraying every time something more, something less. First will be the introduction. Then will come who is handling that particular event. Then will come in the entire detail on who has worked on what and everything. So you little by little start giving it content. So the first poster that we posted was, I'm so sorry. Yeah. First poster that we posted was this one. We just wanted people to know that we are having a contest. The theme of the contest is this, and that's it. No details, no time, nothing we want them to know. We just want them to know this particular detail. Now look at the alignment and look at the font. Look at the font is same throughout. We have made certain things bold because we want people to know that these things are required in the poster. We have made certain things placed somewhere very intelligently. We wanted this to be above the water. We wanted this place to be above the water. If you cannot, then who can? That was the theme that we had. So we posted a picture that was aligned to that. So your content has to match the picture that you're selecting. Your picture has to match the content that you're selecting. Very important. And we just wanted to know that which areas. The second poster that we made it a bit more informative. We said we have a registration link for you guys so that you can participate. Please register. We wanted them to know the contest chair. We wanted them to know the event chair. Now, if you see, that poster wouldn't have been able to accommodate all that information over here. Not at all. Because it had a lot of information, which would have squeezed a lot. You would be squeezing a lot of information in that poster. You make it more vertical. You make it more horizontal. And then you place all your content over there. Again, something related to your theme. So that person is, that shows that if you cannot, then who can? And then international speech contest, evaluation contest, table topics contest, who is the contest chair, who is the event chair, and our basic dates, time, and when. It fit all of it in it. Now, in the third poster, we want them. Sorry, I'll open it again. Yeah. Now in the third poster, we wanted them to contest master for three contests, right? So there'll be 3 contest masters, then master of ceremony, then our PR chair, then the registration chair. We want to give all of them credit a lot of times, but we're not able to, because we're not able to fit everyone in the poster. But that is because our alignments are all wrong. We need to align it properly. Like, I chose a big poster for it because I knew that there is a lot of people that are going to, need recognition. Again, font will be same a lot of times. And you can change the color, you can tweak the colors, but the font should be the same. You can, have something bold, something smaller, but font should be same. Again, all the details that were there in the previous poster, plus some more details. So this is how we made it happen. Like, if you cannot, then who can? A picture of the shoes showing that that you can try, you can, go ahead and conquer the world or something. So that was one of the posters that we made. This all, I have a lot of designs that I have worked on over the years, but it is more important that you know that there will be mistakes. There will be a lot of mistakes that you make sometimes, but you need to make sure three main rules. Keep your text aligned, keep your text aligned, keep the font same throughout the poster, and choose a picture that aligns with your theme and content. That is more important. And on WhatsApp, when you are writing, right, on WhatsApp, when this is the content of your posters, and on WhatsApp you are going to write something below your poster, make sure that nothing that you've mentioned in the poster is in the WhatsApp message. Nothing, because you're already making the content is already there in the poster. What you need to know is to excite them, to make them ask a few questions, or to make them want to register. So you give it a bit of an emotional touch, or you give it a bit of a questionable or a touch, like you ask questions. For example, when we were making content for this particular today's session, we said, do you really want to be like Bob, or do you wish to make new designs? We ask you questions, so that excites people. When you ask questions, it interests people. So make sure that you ask questions and use a lot of emoticons. I learned from my area director, emoticons actually speak a lot. You need to make sure that whatever line you're writing, there's one emoticon that actually matches that particular line. So you find that emoticon, go in WhatsApp, search that emoticon, and then align it with it. You need to mention in the WhatsApp message everything that you've not mentioned in the content. Everything that you've not mentioned in the content. It is very important. So make sure that the content is not medium sized along with the poster, but it has a lot of details, like registration link should excite them to register. Like, do you really think that you are good for it? Go ahead and register. Do you really think you want to participate? Go ahead and register. Do you want to know who Rashi Ben is? Yeah, we've done that. It is important that you go ahead and ask such questions. People will be excited. So yeah, very important things with the content as well as the poster combined. Next up, we have the LDP of our of District 92, our very own distinguished Toastmaster Anto, who will be giving us some guidelines on how how posters for Toastmasters should look like. And she's an amazing PR, by the way. I have seen her work and her doodles and artworks, and we all know she's famous for her PR work in District 92, guys. So please welcome her, help me in welcoming her. Welcome, Toastmaster Anto, distinguished Toastmaster Anto.
Thank you, Kanishka. So, can you stop the sharing once?
Yes.
Okay. So now I really don't want to tell a gyan. Okay, I'm not here to tell gyans. I wanted this as an interactive session. Okay, let's make it an interactive session. Thumbs up.
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool. So first, let's understand what is the difference between marketing and PR. We are all telling that we are a PR person, we are doing PR. What it is? What is the difference between marketing and PR? Marketing also somewhat similar, right? You're trying to sell Toastmasters to people. Then, but why we call here as a PR? Any answers?
Voluntary service and money come in picture.
Okay, yeah, that's also a good point. Anyone else?
Yeah, if I go ahead, marketing and peer acts as a push and pull theory. For example, in the marketing, I am pushing or I am approaching certain people to get my work done. But in peer, I'm attracting the people through my posters or through my videos so that they come to me.
Exactly. So somewhat it is, I guess Shanko has got very closer. The thing is like, what is the main difference between marketing and PR is, marketing is something you tell everyone that my product is good, my product is good, right? But PR is something you are making sure your company reputation is selling, not the product. Okay, so that thing is like you're not selling the Toastmasters itself. You are selling the idea of Toastmasters of public speaking or leadership to everyone, right? So that is the reason we call this as a PR. It's a public relations. Okay. And how many of you are like very happy about seeing all the brands and everything? How many of you can understand what is the importance of branding? Why branding? Everyone says brand, brand, brand. Why? So let me just share a screen immediately and I'll go through some things. Okay. Able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now let's come with these logos. What do you guys think? What are these logos?
It's a unique identity.
Superheroes.
Superheroes. Yeah. Because they are branded it with a logo, right? The logo makes talks. It doesn't have any text or anything, but the logo can talk. And that's what the branding means. Immediately, when we see a tick, what we think? It may be a tick, but this tick, what we think?
Nike.
Exactly.
Just do
So
it.
yes, simple tick was able to convey the entire product. And that's what we call it as a branding, first of all. Okay, so now let's come with our branding manual. So when we say Toastmasters, we are a brand ambassadors of Toastmasters, right? Whenever we are trying to approach another non-Toastmaster, we are a branding ambassador. Okay, so when we are doing that branding ambassador job, how we have to go? We are representing the Toastmasters organization entirely, right? And that's why this branding comes as a very important thing. When you take PR, VPPR, immediately you would have think, oh, I can create these posters, these videos, I can create anything I want and everything. But in Toastmasters, when you are conveying us, you are going as a branding ambassador, how you have to approach. So Toastmasters have something called brand manual. So how many of you are aware of that brand manual? Okay, so let's say the brand manual, let's say uh, that it has a guidelines how your poster or how what colors you can use when the logo is there and everything. So now let's see what this branding manual actually does. So let me just quickly share the screen again. Oh, it's not working. Okay. So now let's say that after, how many of you seeing this? All the logos look similar, but there are few, but the thing is like it doesn't represent the same company, right? And this is where the font comes into picture and the sizing comes into picture. Let's say that if we are seeing it is Adidas and that Eco one, it's somewhat similar. Only thing is extra one line and the size of it, and that width and all those things, and that is very important for any logo. So whenever you are using a logo, we have to make sure we are making the size correct, and that is our first chapter in our brand manual. We have to be very make sure that we have to have the correct width, and we have to use the minimum size, and this is the max size actually. So you have to make sure all these size things were taken care. So if you want the logos to be downloaded, don't go Google and download, because Google will might give you all the logos wherever it has been used. But always go to this particular website to download the logos, which will be in a transparent PNG. So whichever color you are using, so that you can use different logos of that actually. If you are seeing, not only this is our logo, the same thing we have it in a maroon, blue, and all those colors, ash, and all the brand manual colors. So those logos will be available over here. So always pick the logo from here. Don't take logo from Google. I will suggest that one thing. And the next is, so this is the reason I was saying. So thing is like you can't apply effect, or if you are seeing, if you are scaling it wrong or something, it goes into a different brand. right? So if you are seeing in our Adidas, we have seen if we are having our scaling is a different, then it may go as a different brand, but not the Adidas brand. So that is where this scaling and all these things comes as a picture in a brand manual. So whenever you are using a logo, make sure you don't do any of these mistakes. So this brand manual is going to be your Bible when you are taking a PPPR basically. So now let's come to colors. So when I say this colors, what do you guys think of? Which brand comes into mind immediately?
Google.
Google, yeah. Okay. So like Google and even Microsoft uses the same color scheme, right? So that's the exactly the color comes into picture. Let's say that if you're seeing the difference between the two colors, it's totally changing, right? Brand to brand. I know it will be easy for all the girls to understand what is the difference between maroon and red. I know guys might be struggling, but you have to mug up with these things actually. So that is called some hexa code. If you are seeing the two, hexa code will be a different one. Let's say in a Google, it is of some 4285F4, and in Microsoft, the color code is 00A1F1. So that is the difference. Maybe it may look similar, but it is not similar. So that is how the next our colors comes into picture, the color palette. So this is the color palette and approved colors from Toastmasters, which we have to use on our posters on these things, because these are the approved colors. So you always take these X values so that you can get the correct color. You can get it in, even if you make it like a 7724431, it will look similar, but it is not the approved color. So just make sure that always follow the primary colors and the accent colors of the and the approved colors of Toastmasters. Okay, so now let's come to text font. In font, let's say that, so also I have one more image, why colors are important. If you're seeing all the designs are similar, just color can make a difference with different brands. So that is the reason colors are very important over here. And next, when we come to font, let's take again the Adidas itself. Similar logos, but the main difference here is the colors usage of the font. Sorry. So that's why font is very, very important when it comes to a branding. Okay. So that's one thing we have. Gotham is the approved font, and also there are some free alternatives which are in Canva and all those things. It is called Montserrat, and yeah, Montserrat will be having the same appearance as Gotham. So you can use Montserrat as a free alternative, or if you are using a paid tool or something, then you can use a Gotham. That is the perfect font for it. So this about the fonts. Okay, so when you have the fonts, you have it bold and all those things, as Kanishka has already mentioned. So now let's come to photos. When you are using a photo, how many of you know this thing called copyrights? Every time if you are putting something, there might be a copyright, right? So Toastmasters have a photo shelter which has all the approved and copyrighted photos. So now we won't be knowing what is the copyright when we are using the thing. I mean, when we are using an image or something. So that is basically when the photographers used to used to capture photos, and they might sell it for their monetary purpose. So if the person who is using the same picture without his permission or without his copyright, then it's actually a violation in many countries. So that's the reason we always stick to use the photo shelter. Photo shelter is the one which has all the approved photos, and that are the copyrighted only for Toastmasters International. So you can use over here, or you have to use free copyrighted images. Don't use any images which has a copyright, because that will become a violation. So that is the main reason we want to use. So now, if you would have think that the entire session everyone told be creative, be out of box, and now I am going to say you have to use only these three colors, you have to use only this photo shelter, you have to use only this font. But how you can implement creative over here? So now that's the question, right? So in that case, if you are saying that's up to your creativity, I can say. Even in Toastmasters, when you come to give a speech, immediately the essay first says, right, that you should not talk about sex, religion, politics, and you have a limit in whichever you have to talk in Toastmasters. That's exactly it is creativity with a limit. But if you guys think you cannot do any creative posters like that, I am saying that we can do, and we have did few posters like this, if you can verify. And like this, whenever you're using the approved colors, it should, you can use your Toastmaster logo and have many variations of it, actually, like in these are like LDP stuffs and all those things. And yeah, this is the current today's panel moderation which we had, and it is also all approved colors when you're using this one. And yeah, again, all the approved colors, and again all the approved colors, and the picture from the photo shelter. So that is this. The thing is, like, you can be creative again and again, but the thing is, like, we are a brand ambassadors and we need to follow few things. That you need, whenever we are using a logo, we need to make sure that posters and everything should be aligned with the brand manual, because we are promoting a brand, and that brand has a value, right? We are Toastmasters since 1924, and we have a value. So to take that value, we always used to stick to the brand manual, and we will be the particular brand ambassador. Now then comes picture when I cannot use brand colors. So this is a say story of mine, actually. When I used to be the division PRM, whenever I put some image, immediately I'll get ping from Sagnik, dude, this is against violation, this is against violation, because there is a logo and no brand colors. And the same time, when I became the coronation PR team member, then every time I used to do with all the brand manual stuff, and then Arjun came and said, champ, you don't need to use brand manual. And that's where I realized when where you have to use the brand manual and when you don't want to use a brand manual. So whenever you are promoting your Toastmasters meeting or something with logo, Toastmasters logo, then you have to use the brand manual and align to it, so that we are making sure our brand is shown without any violation. Okay. And whenever you are trying to do posters for some, like say that weekly posters, okay, weekly posters kind of like, maybe some initiatives, you might have make a initiatives or something like that, Toastmaster of the month, you want to say, have a happy birthday poster. So there you don't need to put any logo or something like that, so you can play around with all your creative colors and everything. So that's one thing, always make sure that whenever you are promoting Toastmasters outside your club, it should be always in a brand manual allied, because we are a brand and we need to follow that. So now let me hand over for all the audience questions. Any questions? Oh, I'm seeing Prakash sir. Thanks a lot, sir. If I missed anything,
Thank you
can you
so
can
much,
add?
Prakash, sir, for coming in.
Happy that you're covering the brand manual here, Toastmaster Anto. Maybe you can also deal with the aspect about illustrations, because that is something which I see as a huge violation across clubs.
True. And yeah, you cannot make any cartoons or something when you're using a logo, basically. It's because we are a professional background people, right? So our posters also should be professional and formal. Don't make any cartoons when we are having some Toastmasters, and don't make any illustrations or something like that, as Prakash sir rightly pointed out. Thanks a lot, sir. Yeah, I forgot that actually to include. Thanks a lot. And that is something is it should be very professional. That is the main reason we are not using much of the illustrations or some, like cartoons kind of things, actually. So that is also one more point on that. Use the brand manual as your Bible. That's it. Brand manual has everything you wanted, all the resources available, everything is available. The only thing is you just need to go to that resources and say, yes, I need it, and grab it. That's it. Any other questions?
Would you like to elaborate about certificates, ma'am?
I will suggest, okay. Okay, fine. Certificates, yes. Certificates also again comes as a brand material, right? So when you are using a I mean, you are certifying someone for being a first place or second place or whatever it is, right? You are giving a certificate on behalf of Toastmasters. So always please use the certificates which is available in Toastmasters website itself. You just wanted to, not only that, you guys get it in a contest kit. Just whenever you're having a contest or anything it is, just go and search contest kit. You will get the contest kit with all the certificates with it and everything. So it's kind of like everything is available. You just need to go and get it. And also, if I'm not wrong, the role taker certificate is something our district have designed it. So that one also, that one is also approved from TI. So for that you need to get it from the district page on the resources. In the district resources you can get those certificate. So how many of you doesn't know our district website? You should know. It is tmdistrict92.org. Just go over there. There is something called resources. There it every of all the certificates, everything is available over there as well.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for covering.
Thank you,
One
Prakash, for
common
reminding.
question I have been getting, because I'm not hearing any questions from people around, is if you look at the brand manual itself, they are using certain colors like that transition of the colors that you see. So can we use something like that?
Transition of the colors in the sense?
If you look at the brand manual itself, it's turning from one shade of blue to the other shade of blue. Can we use something like that? That's a common question I get, because I'm not hearing any questions. I'm asking questions.
See, he's testing my knowledge, I guess, actually.
Not actually. I know you know enough. That's why I'm helping them get those questions.
Yes. So for that, I guess if I am not wrong, even I am not an expert of that actually, in that perspective of transparency, which we follow over there. It is I don't know whether Mudasir has showed you in Canvas also. You can do it, whatever it is. You can set a transparency of that particular object or anything actually. So in Toastmasters, what we do is, like, if it is in the same shade, I believe it is not allowed actually. It should not be actually. So, right?
You're right. Absolutely right.
Yeah, it is not allowed.
So
You cannot.
what Toastmasters have done is only an experimental thing in that brand manual.
Exactly.
We are not allowed to use that. They would bring in those changes in a future variant of the manual. So be on the lookout. Once we have an updated branding manual, we'll be allowed to use those shades that
Correct.
are available there.
Correct.
So
And
just
that's
be on.
exactly the thing I pointed out there. If you would have seen a blue of Microsoft and blue of Google is similar color, but that one point or something changes the color. And that's exactly the transparency will do. When you're doing a transparency, that color will be changed to one point lighter. So that's where your X code is changing. So that's why it is not allowed.
Also, thank you, Prakash, sir, for joining in. And we really wanted to have this kind of a session, specific discussion on the brand manual, because when we create posters for Area B2, we face a lot of issues in having creativity using the brand manual. And because we had a chat, you and I really wanted to bring this topic that from now on, we will exercise creativity within the brand manual, because that is something which we should not debate about, in your words as well, quoting here. So thank you so much for
It's
that
not about debate.
enlightenment.
Sorry, it's not about debate. It's like Anto showed it very nicely. I like
Yeah,
the way she put it. Any deviation, we are creating a different brand. And
right.
when we have close to um 15,000, 16,000 clubs across the world, if every club starts deviating, we will have 16,000 brands of Toastmasters, which we don't want. We are one Toastmaster entity. And that's the reason why we all want to follow one branding guideline and one brand, which will help us identify ourselves as one Toastmaster community. If we start deviating, we will create our own brand. Nothing wrong with it, but we are no longer a Toastmaster entity, which we don't want to become. So that's the request, to make sure that we adhere, so that we all remain Toastmasters and not become someone else. That's all is my request. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
the point
I
actually.
have
If you would
pinged
have,
the brand manual link
yeah.
to everyone. Yes, Anto, please continue.
Yeah, and that's exactly what, like Prakash has said. If you go to any country, the Toastmaster meeting structure is same, right? It's because we all are Toastmasters and we all follow the same structure in our meetings. We all give the same manual projects and everything, right? It doesn't differ for country versus country. And that's exactly about brand manual as well. We all are one. So that we have to always follow the brand manual, so that we make sure we are building that one
Thank
community
you.
called Toastmasters. Sharish? Yeah. Over to you, Shagrish. I guess I'm done.
Prakash sir is saying something because I am not able to hear.
I'm clapping for a wonderful session. Thank you so much for bringing it so neatly and well.
Serish, I wanted to just say that I had not noticed before, but I went back and checked the role taker certificate from the area contest. And after this session, now I noticed everything about what all of the presenters have spoken about, the colors, about the alignment, about even the brand colors, everything. So it's such a different perspective it is before and after this session.
I can
Thank you so
understand.
much,
We
Karan,
all
for that.
started from you guys.
Can we please unmute ourselves and give Anto, a distinguished Toastmaster, Anto, a very huge round of applause? And Anto, please accept a little token from our side.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today for this session. Special thank you to Anto and Prakash sir for joining in. I hope that you all had a great learning, because I had at some point of time lost track of time, because I was the timer and I lost track of time because I was just seeing Canva, how many different shades and everything, how we prepared the winners poster. It was more like a nostalgic journey, which we did. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time, and I hope you had a great Saturday evening, learning every single thing about the PR. We tried to cover most of it. Whatever we might have missed, you can always reach out to any one of us. We are not experts. We are just trying to help each other learn the basic concepts of design, creativity, because I see that PR is something which is very close to everybody's heart, as I said in the start. And thank you so much for being a part of this little journey. Thank you so much, everyone. Any feedback about this session, or if you want to say something, or if you want to drop a feedback over a message, then please do so. My name is Serish and I'm the Area B2 Director, and we have our team of amazing PRs, our Area PR Manager Mudassir, our Area Content Editor Kanishka, and our Area Creative Head Hasmita. Thank you so much. And also, before ending, I would like to thank Shanko for arranging the Zoom link and Speakers Den for hosting the meeting on Zoom. Thank you so much for curating.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
How come Shagrish
The
forgot the
floor is
picture?
open to feedback and question. Yes, Anto.
How you forgot picture? Group picture?
Oh, yes. Can we please turn on our cameras, everyone, so that we can take a group picture? You know, these days screenshots are becoming so many in my phone, in my every kind of gallery. There are only screenshots. I just forgot that we have to have a picture also.
Please share the one of this one with me, Sarish.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gallery view.
Yeah,
Mudassir,
yeah.
can you? Yes. Someone can please click this picture, Mudassir, Kanishka, or Hasmita, any of our PR team members, because I'm not able to see all.
Sir, you have a laptop, right? On. What is it?
Or Shanko can do, I think.
Sure, I'll do. No problem. I would request everyone to switch on the video. I see a couple of videos switched off. So give
Yes, come on. If you don't want to show us your faces, you can show a virtual background as a sign of a good PR.
PR always shows their face. So
yeah, so some PR as well in the PR. Okay, so we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and yay! Great. Thank you so much, all, everybody.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
everyone.
Thank you so
Any
much.
feedback, please let us know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thanks a
thank you so
lot.
much, Prakash sir and Anto.
Thank you.
It's
Thanks so
okay.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, Shagresh. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Kainan, for your feedback. It was really amazing to hear from you.
Thanks, Harish.
Bye.